do you remember the first person who paid you for food?
She's still a client. She's actually one of my very good friends, very close. She was like, hey, but I don't have time, so you just prepare this food for me. I was like, okay, bet, I'll do that. And that was my first client.
Why is nutrition so important? Why should I watch what I eat?
Nutrition is important because your body needs the right nourishment, to run day-to-day activities, prevent chronic illnesses, and just to have a good mood in general.
A good mood?
Yes.
I saw somewhere randomly about developed nations and how seriously they take the first 2 to 3 years, or is it 5 years of a child?
Yeah.
And what they eat really determines how smart a kid is going to be.
Exactly. And even their growth and development process is really dependent on the supplements you are having when you are having the baby, and also the supplements or rather the nutrients you're including in the baby's food once you start weaning and all of that. And even as you're breastfeeding, also what you take counts. In terms of meal plans, we've probably done over 300 transformations. And then in terms of food clients, we usually count the meals and not really the clients. We do about 1,000 a week.
1,000 meals a week?
Yes.
Classmates, karibuni sana to another episode, and today this must be Spike's favorite episode manzi. Leo tunaongea mambo ya chakula. Waluya in the house are excited, lakini nasikia chakula bado haijafika. Makosa, but yeah, that's amazing. Today we are here to talk about nutrition and how important and impactful it is in our lives. As usual, we're having this conversation at Longonot Place. Come check it out for your staycation. Place moja amazing. Luku, as usual, ni by Rajab Karume. So check out, tuteka link hapo hivyo kwa description box. Please pitia pale hivyo. Mwambia kupiga na CEO's discount manzi. Ni msemfiti sana. Anakupea luku ya CEO na bei ya Mkenya wa kawaida. Amazing place. Our lecturer today is called Paula, and she's going to tell us her government names, but si tunamjua kama Paula's Fit Kitchen, and she's a nutritionist. And yeah, she runs a sanctuary for healthy living. Let me summarize it like that. Paula,
yes.
Niaje, uko fiti? First time we are meeting.
Yes.
But I feel like I've known you for so long. Juu nimekula chakula yako.
I know, right?
The best part about the portions that you deliver is kawaida mtu akiambiwa diet unafikirianga utekewa carrot slice 3 ndio upunguze na restrictions mob, but your food manze it comes with such large quantities and large portions. Saa zingine hata mtu anabakisha.
Exactly.
And it's still healthy eating. Please introduce yourself and what you do.
Thanks for having me. My name is Paula Mora Bosire.
Tumejua kwa nini unapenda chakula. Very nice.
I am a farmer's daughter. Very important to mention. Okay. Also behind what exactly I do today.
Yeah.
I run Paula's Fit Kitchen for 7 years now. Wow. It's a nutrition consultancy and just a sanctuary for 360 healthy living. Everything under one roof.
When you say 360 healthy living, what do you mean?
By 360, I mean we cover all aspects of healthy living. So we have the consultation part where we give the meal plans. And then now we have a shop where we provide you with whatever you need to prepare the food. Okay. And then we also now have the hot kitchen. If you want the healthy food delivered, it's delivered. Yeah, and then in-house, we also have a personal trainer because nutrition and workouts go hand in hand. So it includes everything.
That's dope.
Yes.
I know you mentioned you're a farmer's daughter. Yes. So did you know from the word go this is what you wanted to do with your life? Ama ulipatana nayo accidentally pahali?
Actually, nilipatana nayo accidentally.
Yeah.
Way later in life. But how I was brought up, the environment I was brought up in, the food we used to eat on a daily-to-day basis has really shaped up who I am now.
Okay.
Yes.
What was trying to figure out what was the culture like at home. So at what time mama alikuwa anaanza kuprep food saa ngapi?
Yeah, so first things first, I grew up in my grandparents' house. I'm an orphan. And so from a very young age, tulikuwa wengi kwa household, unajua other cousins, other uncles.
Yeah.
And my grandfather was a farmer. So yeah, alikuwa anaishi Kisii, you know, but my grandmother was a trader at a market called Kibuye Market in Kisumu.
Okay.
That's where I grew up. And so most of the times, like unatoka lunch break, unarudi kwa market to have lunch. So I spent a lot of time at the market. She used to have a shop selling grains, a kibanda actually. And so we spent so much time there, to your environment, ya market, kuchagua hizo mahindi nini. It was a lot of work at the time, but you know, now growing up, I really appreciate because we really underrate agriculture and food, and it's the backbone of the society.
I think so. I genuinely think agriculture is the backbone of the
Yes.
Kenyan economy. So the
Yes.
fact that wanga tumeiachilia doesn't do us any good.
Exactly.
Why is nutrition so important? Why should I watch what I eat?
Nutrition is important because your body needs the right nourishment, you know, to run day-to-day activities, prevent chronic illnesses, and just to have a good mood in general.
A good mood?
Yes.
Expound.
By good mood, I mean just how you feel. If you take things which have a lot of sugar, utacrash haraka uanze kufeel very funny.
Yeah.
Once you work out, you feel really good because of the endorphins. You're in a way better mood. So yeah, that's what I mean.
It's so true. I came to that conclusion once. We had a lot of kids in the house, and
Yes.
of course they were high on sugar.
Yes.
And you're right, like kids, they had this sugar high, and after a
Yes.
few hours, wote walikuwa
Crash.
tu kwa couch, manze wamecrash.
Yes.
And at that point, I got to thinking, oh, okay.
Yes.
So this is what sugar actually does to us.
Yes.
So, you start off your day on a high sugar,
Yeah, and then you crash.
and then you crash.
But now when you eat food, the right food that you're supposed to eat, it has slow releasing energy. So throughout the day, you have slow releasing energy as opposed to you having that sugar spike and then it coming down, and then now you're feeling sluggish. You feel the need now to have even more sugar to keep up the high.
Food is so important.
Yes.
But it's the one conversation I don't think we have enough
Yeah,
of.
absolutely.
I mean, we only talk about food and nutrition when it comes to, let's say, weight loss or weight gain.
Or sicknesses
or sickness,
also.
exactly. Sasa uanze kuchemshiwa vitu juu uko na diabetes. But
Exactly.
that your part ya moods, manze, hata sijaifikiria. So,
exactly. And
yeah.
even just the energy for you to just run your day-to-day activities, you need to eat the right food.
I also heard what you eat
Yeah.
is key to your skin, the health of your skin.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, food contains vitamin C and other great nutrients, which are great for your skin, you're glowing. Also, hydration plays a big part in that,
Yeah.
you know, as being good for your skin.
One of the things also, I'm one of those people, I'm an overthinker. So
Yeah. Same here.
yeah, so when we were expecting my daughter, we really researched on diet and what that does for children. And
Yes.
from right before birth, we really were strict on the diet
Yes.
and the supplements to
Yes.
get. And
Yes.
because I think I saw somewhere randomly about developed nations
Yes.
and how seriously they take the first 2 to 3 years, what is
Yes.
it, 5 years
Yes.
of a child.
Yeah.
And what they eat really determines how smart a kid is going to be.
Exactly. And
Because-
even their
yeah.
growth and development process is really dependent on the supplements you are having when you are having the baby, and also the supplements or rather the nutrients you're including in the baby's food once you start weaning and all of that. And even as you're breastfeeding, also what you take counts, you know, towards how much breast milk you're having, the quality. So it really matters from when you get pregnant all the way through to when you're weaning the baby.
Yeah.
So it's important for growth and development and even how smart your baby turns out.
Does it piss you off that I feel our government doesn't take this seriously enough? The reason I came across even this research was because
Yes.
I come from a world of filmmaking, so we do a lot of documentaries.
Yes.
So a friend producer of mine did a documentary, and he covered the entire country.
Yes.
And it was just about diet and nutrition.
Yes.
And they came in with this amazing report and documentary.
Yes.
We went for the launch, so this is
Yes.
where I was hearing a lot of these facts. After launch ni hivi, hiyo story tu ilidai hapo.
Ilidai hapo.
And the saddest thing is,
Yes.
like, ni vitu tuko nazo accessible, but we don't know the
Yeah.
power we have that food
Yes.
has. So for
Yes.
example, a fisherman at the coast or Lake Victoria, they'll spend the entire day
Yes.
fishing.
Yeah.
And then akirudi home atauza fish, anunue mkate, arudi nayo home.
Exactly.
So ameacha the nutritious
part
food.
of it, exactly, na akona access to it.
Yeah.
It is very annoying because what we don't understand is if you're not okay, there's nothing else you can do. Unaelewa?
Yeah.
So if your nutrition is not right, if you're not eating okay, you get sick, all these other things that we place so much importance on, you're not going to be able to do that. So I feel like as much as also the government is not doing so much about it, us as people, we need to take a personal initiative. We need to make sure, like, we chase so many things. Una chase job, you're chasing your career, you're doing everything else except pouring into yourself in order for you to excel at all these other things. And what you forget is that your health, kama hauko healthy, kama when I'm sick, hautakuwa able kufanya all these other things.
That is so true.
So if you feel like exercise or nutrition is way too much, eventually itaka chap na wewe sababu you will not be able to do all these other things. So us, and then now eventually the government needs to do way better to educate the masses, even to from shule tukiwa wadogo.
Yeah.
I remember we used to do way much agriculture when we were younger and in school. These days, not so much, So we need to start from our watoto wakiko wadogo, kids are in nursery, take them to farms, let them go grow stuff, It needs to start from a really young age so that it can, grow with us. So they're not doing so much. And even the education system, I feel like needs to put way more importance in agriculture, food security, so that we are not ignorant. Because like umesema huyo fisherman ni too, he might just be ignorant. I agree that this fish is way more superior than the bread that I'm going to buy.
Yeah.
So if we educate people more, the ignorance will not be there and we'll be able to do all of these things.
Classmates, one of the things we're really trying to do, I think something that comes up in almost all conversations is how important and how involved government is in our business and our day-to-day life. So, I hope one day we can have the CS of health sitting over there, tumuulize, plan yako ni gani?
Yeah.
Because I have seen it with developed nations. They're very particular about diet for kids, because they know if we get smart kids, then we have a smart nation, then, we'll do well.
Absolutely. They believe and they know that, it comes from food.
Yeah.
It all starts from your nutrition. It all starts from your environment. So it's very important for us to take that into account.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Let's go to the business now. 7 years.
Yes.
We want to know how you've crafted that business. What was do you remember the first person who paid you for food?
She's still a client.
Wow.
Yes.
So was it by accident? Yule alikuwa manze siwezi fika home nipikie alafu nitakurushia za macho.
She's actually one of my very good friends, very close.
Yeah.
And when I started Paula's Fit Kitchen, I used to only do consultancy. So I would do meal plans for clients. I give you a shopping list, I give you a timetable. Unaenda una shop and then you prepare the food for yourself. And then she was like, hey, but I don't have time. So you just prepare this food for me. I was like, okay, bet, I'll do that. And that was my first client. And then many other clients started coming, and that was how the kitchen was born.
Right.
Yes.
How did you structure it so now it's a fully fledged business?
Yeah.
You move from one client.
Yeah.
How many clients have you serviced to date?
Wow. In terms of meal plans, we've probably done over 300 transformations, with about 80% being women. And the other 20%, children and, men.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 300 women transformations. And then in terms of food clients, we usually count the meals and not really the clients. We do about 1,000 a week.
1,000 meals a week.
Yes.
We. Kuna space huko mniandike kazi. Nitakuja kushoot content. Man. Okay, that's amazing.
Yes.
So how has that shift been? For you started as the main chef.
Yeah.
But if you're doing 1,000 meals, I don't think you can cook 1,000 meals.
So when I started, it was just me doing it because it's very specific. When you're preparing healthy food, there's very important things you need to consider. One, you want to keep the nutrients. You don't want to overcook things like your vegetables. So your method of preparation really matters. Second, your ingredients and the source of the ingredients. We keep our ingredients organic, so that also is very important to consider. Third, we consider the ingredients that are superior to others. Things like ginger, turmeric, they have way more healthy benefits than some other foods. So we also consider the important ingredients. So when we started, when I started, I had to do it myself so that I learned. Because one, I had never run a kitchen. So I didn't even order a restaurant or anything. I was just a good cook who loves to work out. And so I started doing the meal preps, and then eventually now I had to bring a team on board, now bring a proper chef. Do you mean kwa tu napika ile? The way I understand the macros and calories. But now I brought our chef on board. It started becoming now more interesting. We are working together. I'm ensuring, the nutrition part is right. Him is ensuring the taste part of it is right. We got 2 more team members, and it has just grown like that. And right now we have about 15 team members.
Oh man, that's amazing. You're creating employment. So you have this beautiful product called food. So how do I get to hear about it? What was your marketing, go-to-market plan and strategy?
So the craziest part is the market strategy that I used. I didn't do any marketing like online or anything. It was really word of mouth. And then I used to go to gyms. I would sign up for different gyms. Nena 2 months kwa hii gym. In fact, gyms nyingi watu shanga, msichana, she's moving. I'm always moving. Even if you check my timeline on kwa hii gym 2 months, that's what I used to do. I used to physically go to these gyms. I talked to the people. And then this one time, Alpha Fit was opening on Gong Road. So I used to do free tacos to give out for free so that just people could know about my brand. And
strategy ya Escobar. Drug lords hufanya hivyo sana.
And so when I did that, wakona, this product is good. Come do the next one, but now you can sell. So the next one I sold. And that's how now I built a clientele. So it's really been among the fitness community and physically signing up for these gyms, joining these running clubs and fitness clubs. That is how I've really managed to push the brand. And of course, people around me have really helped me. Positioning yourself is very important. So I found myself around people who were popular and they were using the product. And so it really helped me to push the product just by posting and whatnot. That's the market.
That was your marketing, go-to-market. We'll go to distribution, but the fitness, you hitting the gyms.
Yes.
Was this in line with what you were selling, or fitness is something that you fell in love with separately?
I fell in love with fitness before even the nutrition part of it. I was working out. Straight after high school, I joined a gym. So that has been almost 13 years of consistent working out. So I was already in it even before. Then even before I actually got a certification, I was already working out and whatnot. I did accounts in university. So when I was doing that, I was just working out and whatnot. I didn't even know this would be a business. It just came about later on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Man, that's a plus. So accounting, that means okay, so you know how to keep your numbers.
I do the books. I do all our books. Yes.
Man, that's amazing.
Yes.
Let's go to the hardest part of any business in this country, worldwide: distribution. Because if there's something you really impressed me with is my meals are always on time.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, man, how did you hack that? How have you cracked distribution?
So we actually struggled for a while with distribution. First of all, because we didn't have our own bikes. And the way you package the food, hata vile inafikia client,
Yeah.
umse wa bike tu
Yeah.
ameibeba kama nguo or
Manze.
whatever. And so I had to just partner. What I did, the local boda guys who used to carry me for errands and whatnot, I just got like 5 of them. I told them, I have this business. We have to work together. So I took them through some training. You know, they're still using their bikes, but I'm coordinating their payments with the clients. So took them through training, you know, got them the boxes that they needed, and then, you know, started off, because I didn't really have money to buy bikes.
Yeah.
And even if I wanted to buy, I could have bought 1 or 2. Sasa huyu anadeliver Kiamburu, huyu Rongai, all the other clients will suffer. So I needed to find a way to sort of outsource the distribution system with just the local guys that I knew at the time. And that's how I did it.
What's the farthest you distribute nowadays?
Utawala.
Utawala.
Yes.
Watu Utawala hata
Utawala.
wametoa watu wa Rongai kwa picha.
Utawala.
Okay.
Yes.
But manze, mi niko Eldoret na nataka food yako. Sasa itakuwaje?
So, at the moment, we're not distributing, of course, also because of keeping the food fresh and things like that. But we're now transitioning or going into having a product line. So you'll be able to buy our marinated meats. Zile ziko already marinated and whatnot. So you see, these ones can move at distance.
Yeah.
And it cuts prep time by a lot of time. And also, if you don't have the skill to make the meat taste nice or whatever, it's already marinated and, you know.
I mean, Eldoret is a town full of athletes. That would be, you know, that would be
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
What has been the hardest skill you think you've struggled with in terms of learning how to run a business?
Emotional attachment.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yes. So when I was doing coaching, you see, at first it just seems like you're doing a meal plan for somebody and you're giving them, but then it turns into a whole therapy session, which you are not really anticipating, because you'll ask this client, okay, so why didn't you prep your meals as you were supposed to? They'll be like, you know, I fought with my husband, you know. So now you have to sort of deal with that first and figure out that before dealing with what you're actually, because you can't ignore it.
True.
You know.
That's true.
So I really struggle with that, and especially when you're dealing with a lot of clients, it's a lot of issues, and I'm a very empathetic person, so I was taking their issues personally. So, because I'm also a problem solver, so I want to help this person. So it really exceeded my scope of work, and I even had to stop coaching for a while in order for me to build a team to be able to help me with the coaching part.
Because you're there, let's just so how do you prep your meals? Are they based on an individual's needs,
Yes.
or is it one fit all type of thing?
Yes.
Yeah, so how do you decide? Mi nataka isha kamekataa kuenda manzi.
Tumekataa kwenda.
Juu.
So we have 2 systems. We have the standard menu where you can just order off it. It's standard meals, but they're still healthy meals, macros calculated and whatnot. Then we have the custom meals where a client comes with specific requirements. The doctor has said no salt, no oil. I'm supposed to eat only kienyeji chicken. I'm supposed to eat only organic food. So you come to us with that profile, and we'll be able to prepare your meals according to the needs, the specification, all those specific things, you know, down to calories, and prepare your food.
So that means there's no like fixed budget for personalized meals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no fixed budget, because a client will want some
Yeah.
things. Maybe I say, okay, this week I want salmon and I want seafood. Of course, it's going to be way expensive. So we really just fit the budget according to what the client wants.
You've mentioned severally about organic food, kienyeji chicken.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us, we grew up thinking we were eating healthy because madhe alikuwa apika mboga, you know, daily. And then recently, I think I came across a statistic like,
Yes.
this is something crazy, like was it 70% or 80% of the vegetables we eat
Yes.
in Nairobi
Nairobi
are
specifically.
they are the water used imetoka kwa siwa.
Sewage, yeah. It is,
Sewage.
and you can even see the videos floating
Yeah.
on TikTok and whatnot. Unaona clearly this is a sewer, and this is a lot of the greens that we eat in Nairobi. They're
Yeah.
not good. So us as Fit Kitchen, we work with farmers who grow our own food, like Ubuntu Farm, Eco Farm. They
Okay.
grow our own organic food.
Right.
So we are able to trace the ingredients. And I feel like that's what sets us apart from the rest. And it was very important for me to include that aspect of traceable ingredients. We are able to tell this spinach was grown like this. Did they use organic fertilizer? What did they use, in terms of keeping away the pests? So all those details, we trace all our ingredients back to the farmer. Even the chicken we use, it's free-range chicken. We work with a farm. So we've been able to set ourselves apart from the rest just by ensuring our ingredients are proper.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
There's a lot of BS out there when it comes to diet fads.
Yeah.
What to eat, there's so much noise.
Yeah.
Hebu tuambie tunafaa kukula nini, tunafaa kukosa kukula nini. Kuna watu watatuambia avoid red meat. Kuna watu watatuambia please eat red meat.
Yeah.
Kuna watu watatuambia avoid milk.
Yeah.
Kuna watu watatuambia please usikose kunywa maziwa. Is there... Okay, what's the truth? How many times am I supposed to eat? There's so much noise out there. Yeah.
I know diet and nutrition is very controversial, and I feel like even some of the healthy things that might work for you might not work for me. For example, if you take so much of something like turmeric, it's an inflammatory, yeah, it's nice, but if you take way too much of it, it's a blood thinner. So there is so much specific things that you need to do. So when you need to take it upon yourself to research for yourself. But generally, I would say just have a balanced plate. What is a balanced plate? You need to have your proteins. It's great for growth and muscle recovery. You need to have your carbohydrates. By proteins, I mean chicken, beans, lentils, kamande.
Yeah.
We have fish. And then when it comes to carbohydrates, we have rice, we have chapati. I know people say it's not unhealthy.
Unaona, mimi manze mimi ni fan wa chapo, lakini nashinda nikiambiwa chapo itafanya.
Chapo is not bad unless you're gluten intolerant. So wheat is not actually bad for you.
Yeah.
You can eat chapati. Just make sure you make it whole grain. Like you're trying to move towards the whole grain chapo.
Na
like
tusikule chapati sita.
Exactly.
Spikes umesikia.
No, usi overdo, of course. Yeah. Because we have the white carbohydrates and we have the complex carbohydrates. The white carbohydrates ni kama yo chapo ya white. But now when you make it complex, you're adding more fiber to the chapati and it's even giving you more slow releasing energy that I spoke about.
When you say complex, what do you mean?
Complex, this is whole grain. It's not white. So ni whole grain, kama wheat and whatnot.
Right.
So it's whole grain. So they're called, they're categorized under complex carbohydrates. Vitu kama sweet potato, vitu kama brown rice. They have way more fiber and they're whole grain.
That means they are better?
They are way better for you, exactly. Okay. Yes. They're much better for you. And then, of course, vegetables. So it's just protein. Your plate should have a protein. It should have a carbohydrate, preferably a complex carbohydrate. Hizo ngwashe na nduma tunahipa, that's what you should be eating. And then, of course, your vegetables, as much as you can eat.
Najua umenijibu. But sorry to cut you short. Yes.
Yeah, and then now one of the other most important things is hydration. Drink enough water. And then the other general rules, avoid sugar. That one, akuna alternate, no, just cut it out completely. It's non-negotiable.
Okay.
And of course, now watch the fat that you're using to prepare your food.
All right.
Yeah, you should stick to olive oil, coconut oil, and even better, animal fat of any sort, like tallow. It's usually the best to cook.
Sasa unaona. Is there a possibility you as the nutrition world and doctors and everyone will sit down and decide, come up with a consensus? Because on the other hand, I'm being told bro, you need to be vegan, you need to be vegetarian.
Yeah, that's a whole other different conversation, and it stems sometimes from values, that people believe animals should they feel the pain
Yeah.
and not. So, but meat is not bad for you. Just watch your portions and also have a balanced diet.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Yes, meat is
And
not
one
bad.
of the most important things in that entire plate
Yeah.
is the protein. So make sure you always have protein with every meal. Yes. Because also protein, kama tuseme you want to lose weight or whatever, it keeps you fuller for longer also. So it helps the process.
So tunasema burger sio mbaya.
Um,
Si umesema wheat sio shida na
wheat
nyama
sio
sio shida.
Hiyo burger bun una make sure tu ni whole grain and then you make sure your meat is grass fed, then you're good.
Like you said, I think nutrition, what to eat, what not to eat is so broad.
It's so broad. That's why nasema it needs you to personally take it upon yourself to do research or even go for things like allergy tests to see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So that's why you need to work with a nutritionist, you need to work with a doctor so that you do that.
I think another statistic I came across
Yeah.
that's ilinipata off guard. We keep saying hii kitu ya lactose intolerance.
Yes.
Hiyo ni mambo ya wazungu. And then I discovered, I think over 70% of Africans,
Black people in general.
black people in general,
they're lactose intolerant.
so tuachane na mazi. Unaambia Waafrika wachane na chai.
I know, but milk is meant for a baby cow. It's not meant for human consumption.
Sasa unaona angalia sasa. Unaona kwa nini mnatu confuse? But at the same time mnatuprichia maziwa ni mzuri, it has nutrients.
You see those nutrients that they claim is in milk,
Yeah.
you can find way more of it in other food that doesn't have all the bad stuff
Okay.
that is in milk. You understand? So there's better alternatives. Kabisa.
Yeah, like you said, this whole nutrition and what to eat, what not to eat is so broad. We could go on and on. Something I came across, your bio.
Yes.
UGC, what does that stand for?
User-generated content. So I'm also getting into user-generated content just to show my audience how we can use some of the healthy products that we have locally in the local market.
Right.
So just to show them, okay, this product exists and this is how you can use it to improve your life.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so content creation for you is a major part of your marketing, telling stories with content.
Yes.
Are there some success stories that you can speak about? Clients of yours who you've really transformed them, and how long it took? Because maybe I want to lose weight in 3 weeks, and unajua hapa kuna miaka kaa 3 unapiga.
Yeah, I have very interesting success stories. I mean, over 300 transformation. Of course, we have interesting stories. We have people who have gotten pregnant and they couldn't. We have people who've been able to manage diseases, most importantly. We have people who've completely transformed their mental health through, like I told you, it's more of also a therapy session. So they've transformed their mental health through exercise and through eating better. So we have had so many success stories and so many positive things.
It's amazing to me how food is so important in every single aspect of our lives.
Absolutely.
We've talked about skin, mental health.
Yes.
Mood swings and moods.
Yes.
Someone being able to conceive.
Yes.
Food contributes to that as well.
Absolutely. Food contributes to that because once you start stopping you stop eating the bad stuff. And then we also use something called herbal medicine therapy in our meal plans. And so if you come to us and say you have PCOS, we'd introduce you to things like seed cycling, where you use specific seeds. You're just using food to cure yourself. So food is not only for nourishment. Food is very important medicine. I mean, one of the things I would advocate for also is for us to really go back to our roots and talk to our grandparents, ask them, because these guys used to have a remedy for everything. Unaumwa kichwa, go to the farm, take this, consume it, go take some aloe vera or whatever. So we really need to also tap into that.
Still on food and how, it affects every aspect of our lives.
Yes.
So I'm asking for this on behalf of 44 and all the men out there. So ile mnatumianga kumarket mambo ya nguvu za kiume ni ukweli pia?
Ni ukweli kabisa.
Abu leteni notebook sasa. Abu mention hizo nini hapa ndo please men ndo wakati undo wakati.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
please
it's
mention
very
them.
true. First of all, exercise just by itself. You know, as a man, your testosterone is high, and if you're physical, it even goes higher.
Right.
So you're able to perform better. That's exercise. Yeah.
No.
Food.
Please break it down. Usiharakishe hii segment. Najua hapa hivi ndio nitapata subscribers na followers.
I mean, there's specific roots and herbs and supplements that you can use to enhance sexual health.
Vitu yangu hizo zina sound vitu kali.
Yeah. There's a herb called maca powder. It's a root, natural root.
Please take notes. Please, Spikes, tanipea hiyo list baadaye.
Yeah. Maca powder, fish oil, omega 3 is really good.
Ile kitu tulikuwa tunachukia tukiwa watoto.
Iyo sasa. Fish oil is really good. And there's also something called tongat ali. So these are natural herbs, natural supplements. You can just use to enhance sexual function. And they actually work.
Salimu, umepata ya mwisho. Utatumia mzee.
Apart from the specific herbs like the maca and tongat and whatever, you can actually do things like smoothies, which can help with that. So you can do a blend of watermelon, peanut butter, and some water. It's a really good, it helps with sexual health and also with performance.
Mtu yangu I think nikaa nimemaliza kazi yangu. Please men, msiwahi sema sijawasaidia. Wanauliza Mukombero. Hiyo kitu inakuanga ni ukweli.
Hata Mukombero, you know, all those herbs,
right,
they do work.
Okay.
Yes. They do work.
Yes. CEOs, classmates, men classmates, tafadhali munitumie ka kitu kwa M-Pesa, nimewasaidia sana. Again, it still blows my mind how important food is and how we don't talk about it, often enough. I think one other statistic I came across was Japan has the biggest population of people living who are 100 years and above. And for them, again, goes back to diet.
Absolutely.
And they survive mostly on plant-based food and seafood.
And
seafood yenye ni kama Afrika tuko allergic.
Generally, their practices, even you know how they drink green tea after a meal, you know, those practices, they walk a lot. It all boils down to that exercise and the food that you eat. And then the Japanese and Chinese, they're big on herbs. Even the maca root and whatever I'm talking about, a lot of them come from there. So they're very big on herbs. And that's why I'm saying as a community, as a population, as Kenyans, we need to go back. Kwa our herbalist, village, we really need to exploit because it works. People have been cured of diseases. People have been better. So it really works and we need to embrace that. I mean, modern medicine is good also, but we had something else even before modern medicine came. And even a lot of this modern medicine, they borrow a lot from our African culture. Absolutely. Our culture is very, very rich. So imagine if we took advantage of what we have and explored all the herbs we have. A lot of them are indigenous and they even grow in Africa mostly. So we have so much that we are not using.
And I don't know which day as Africans will just wake up and realize
how blessed we are.
How blessed we are. We don't.
And
I hope it happens soon, though.
Absolutely.
So what's next for you? How big and global do you want, Paula's Fit Kitchen to grow?
So what next for me is the product line. It's been coming for about 3 years now.
It takes time. Good things take time.
It takes time. It takes time. And also, we really wanted it to come from the right source. You know, it's very important for our ingredients to be organic, to be free of any, antibiotics and all those pesticides. So that was very important for us. So next, we're going into a product line that can easily go global because it's easy to move products, across. And then second, we are going into wellness experiences. And so we are working with Ubuntu House to create a package. You come there for 3 days for a retreat. We're giving you organic food. You're doing yoga and meditation in the morning. Basically, a distressing exercise for 4 days. You learn how to make organic food. You learn how to farm. Unajua, Salimo will be there to teach you all of that.
Yeah.
And then just to pour into yourself. Take 4 days off, come, eat organic food, do exercise, relax, just to be in that farm type setting and to experience the wellness one-on-one, have cooking classes and all of that. And then 3, I also really want to advocate for mental health. I struggle with ADHD, which also has contributed to who I am today because, of the things that I can do and others that I can't. So I really want to advocate that, and especially for it to be caught early among kids who are in informal settlements and whatnot. So that's what I want to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
But again, sorry, I read random facts randomly. It's one of those things I love. And the one study that was done, they took kids that were born during the Sudan War. Was it Sudan?
Yes.
Or Ethiopia? Sudan War.
Yes.
And then they took another group of kids that were born at the same time in Kenya. And they were doing this research purely from a nutrition base. So anyway, a kid born during a war, they're not feeding right. They're not eating right.
Sure.
The environment is not good. And surprise, surprise, these kids are now adults. And a lot of the kids that grew up in these war-torn places and where nutrition... No, it wasn't a war. It was actually some dry place. I think Northeastern or... I forget. I read it a while back.
Yeah, the arid areas.
Yes, arid areas. It wasn't a war zone. And purely because of nutrition.
Yes.
The marriages and relationships of these guys who grew up in the good places actually flourish more than people from arid areas. And just goes to show, how much...
mentally, absolutely.
Because again, from what you've said, from when you're a child, what you're eating, number one, grows your brain.
Exactly. Provides the nourishment that you need.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so you end up having healthy relationships because you can reason out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're not impulsive. You're not... Very true.
Whoa. Nafil nika.
It's a deep conversation. It has a lot of weight.
I feel like going before we even focus on taxes and roads and everything. Let's start from the root cause.
Let's start from the root cause. Because one thing I realized with my situation was I was a very angry child. And so I feel like some of these things, if they were caught then, if there were systems then, I would have been able to handle other things better. But what I can say about that is what I chose to do, unajua, with all of these mental health conditions, it cannot be cured.
Yeah.
You have to manage it. And so that's why I even really got into Fit Kitchen, because I realized I can't do an 8 to 5. I tried for 1.5 months and it wasn't working.
1.5 months. Okay. Actually, you caught it on early.
Yeah, I caught it early. So I was like, this is not for me. How do I shift the reality to match who I am? How do I switch that around? I want to be able to wake up at weird times in the morning. Like now I'm waking up at 3. I work until 10. I have a break. I go to the gym because I cannot concentrate for all that long.
Of course.
So I'm twisting the reality to match exactly who I am. And I feel like it's been very important in growing as a person and also growing the business.
Something you mentioned about being really angry, an angry child, and maybe you could be really super composed right now because it's an interview, but I don't feel that energy. Is it something you've worked on over time, and what was that process like?
Well, actually, I didn't even know that something was wrong with me. I used to, but I realized in campus, I used to be able to not retain a lot of information, and my attention was so short. So if I'd go for a 2 hour class, after 1 hour, the rest of the hour, me too, Nico, I'm in my own world. The attention is over. So I had to see a therapist to work through it. I had to do a lot of research just to know that this is something that cannot be cured, but I can shift things to match how I am. And I also realized that we are able to do so many amazing things. And even a lot of the really big people have ADHD and they've done amazing things. And so I worked through that through therapy, a lot of conversations, a lot of research, a lot of coping mechanisms. I go to the gym a lot. So I feel like your anger, when I go there and I lift the weights, it comes out. And so anger management, it has really helped me. Exercise and food as well. Herbs, natural herbs. Yeah.
Oof. With your schedule, because you've just mentioned it again.
Yes.
So you wake up at 3 a.m. Yeah, by the way, because you have clients who are waiting for breakfast and it has to be fresh.
Yes.
So you wake up at 3 a.m.
Yeah. So
How is your day like?
How's my day like? I wake up at 3 a.m. The first hour is my power hour. So I do prayer meditation, just pour into myself for the first hour, listen to something inspirational. And then from 4 to 6, I usually read any research material and whatnot. And then from 6, sasa naingia kitchen. At that time, they've already packed breakfast and whatnot. So for me, it's to supervise and make sure everything is fine, everything has been garnished okay. The food leaves. I work until 10. I'm off to the gym 10 to 11. Back home, freshen up till 12. Maybe take a nap for an hour. Again at 3, I'm back to work until 8 p.m. So I have to put something interesting in the middle of my schedule in order for me to be able to do the next part of it well. And so that's why I would rather wake up and break my day sort of into two in order for me not to feel like I have to focus so much all through.
And people eat every single day.
Every single day.
So you don't have a free day?
I have a free day. So Saturday and Sunday are free days for me.
Okay.
So Saturday we do restocking. I don't have to be there, and Sunday is my day off.
So, so they're not deliveries, or these are prep before?
They prep, we deliver Monday through Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sunday, your clients know.
We are closed.
Okay. So at least you have space for social life.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. And I don't take it for granted, I make sure my weekends I'm doing something, go for farm tours, go for hang out with friends, go out. I really have a really
Kidogo
good
tungeanza kukuombea bana. Hey.
work-life balance.
Yeah.
Trust me, Apple, I don't compromise.
All right. That's amazing.
Yeah.
How can people reach you?
You can reach me through our socials, Paula's Fit Kitchen, both on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook. All our information is there. Our contacts are there. So yeah, that's how you can reach us.
Okay, amazing.
Yes.
What's your mantra? What's your go-to slogan? The one that keeps ringing in your head, that keeps you.
Yeah. The magic you want is in the work you're avoiding.
The magic you want is in the work you're avoiding.
Yes.
Man, that sounds like an amazing place to end this conversation.
A lot of the hard things we are scared to do are the things which elevate us or take us to the next level. So that work that you're avoiding, that you're putting off, is where your breakthrough lies.
Oof.
Yes.
What's your stranger than fiction story? Something that happened in the course of your work.
Yeah.
You're like, hii story hata nikiambia watu hawataniamini yake. If you have one.
Let me see. Actually don't have any.
This hour too. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time and
Thank
for
you for
gracing us.
having me. This is amazing.
No, here we strongly believe that
Yes.
success is not overnight.
Yes.
But you can manufacture success, and it takes
Yes.
time. And
Yeah.
we're always interested in the journey.
Yes.
And to know that Paula's Fit Kitchen has taken 7 years,
Yes.
you know, for us to know about you this much.
Absolutely.
And so, thank you for sharing.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, because there are a lot of young girls, young men out
Yes.
there who want to follow in your footsteps.
Yes.
And, you know, they see your page is so colorful. My friend, your page is full
I
of
get
colors
hungry.
because of the food.
Yes.
And they want to get there, but they
Yes.
don't know the journey. They
Yes.
don't know the story.
Yeah.
And thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for having me. You know, I'm glad to be able to finally share my story on a big platform like this.
Wait, Meskia, tumeitwa big platform. Please don't joke. Oh man, classmates, I hope you've learned, and I'm really hope. By the I think after this, I do need consultation.
Yes.
Just on the diets and the nutrition.
Yes.
Yeah, so classmates, Manze, I hope you'll start paying more attention to what you're eating. Reach her through her socials. We'll have a link to her socials in the description box. Please change your life, man. And what you eat really determines how and who you become. So it's important. We're still filming at Longonot Place. Come book a staycation over here. It's a beautiful, amazing space. Luku, as usual, by Rajab Karume. And tupatane next class.